What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to
Are
stream.
we recording? Are we 100% sure we're recording?
We are. I am confident in that fact. I will keep my.
All right.
I will bet your life on it. I will bet
you'll
your
bet
life on it.
our recording day. Cool.
Our channel.
Bless. Cool.
What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to Streamcast, the show on the internet. We watch the latest and greatest stuff on streaming services with you guys. I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, the inverted gamer himself, Sheps. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, you're doing good, man. Doing good.
Back at Streamcast, back to uphold the FPN because those bastards, the Four Pillars, won't do it.
They don't love you, but we do. That's why we have the flagship show.
Exactly. Sorry about last week. Illnesses and the plague did take us out.
Yeah, literally the plague.
But for a week, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
I got constant messages, obviously, people saying, like, what's happened to the FPN?
I had literally ones of messages.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
And, I mean, it was from you, but you were like, what's happening to the FPN? And I was like, I don't know. Maybe they should pull some of their own weight.
Maybe.
And then we decided, obviously, they can't.
Exactly. I mean,
so...
half of Tyler's upside down.
Exactly.
The other one's homeless.
Facts.
And dating a sister for some reason. I can't. It's just not cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, don't worry, guys. We're back. We're back to give you guys that quality content.
It's true.
Back again with The Witcher. The Witcher season 2. We're doing episode 3 and 4 today.
That's right.
And some things happened.
Some things did happen.
Do you remember what I said to you in the last episode 2 weeks ago?
About Vesemir?
No, Vesemir was one of them, but also about Triss. I said, in this episode, they fixed Triss. Everything's been repaired. Everything's done.
I don't remember that. You have to point out to
I
me.
said that. I was like, don't worry in the next episode. And what changed with Triss this episode?
I freaking hate her, so I don't know.
Her hair is now red.
Oh, yeah, good. So,
I was like, they fixed her. There you go. Done.
I wanna
that's what all of our complaints were. Her hair.
That was all her hair. I actually do have a serious complaint about Triss.
Go on.
Which is, I'm Mr. Let's not make stuff political. Just write good characters and it won't matter if they're male or female or trans or any of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
They're just whitewashing her. I absolutely hate it. Okay, look, I get it. The source material, Yen and Triss are white. They're medieval Polish girls, right?
Yeah.
But they made a decision, and then Michael Jacksoned her. She looks very bizarre.
It doesn't look right, does it?
It looks really weird. It's a very uncanny valley.
This is the weird thing. I know that, I don't know in the books, but at least in the game, which I imagine took inspiration from the books and whatnot, she's got that colour hair.
She's a fiery redhead for sure.
That wasn't the thing that was good, that people had a problem with and was going to solve everything.
Yeah.
What was that nonsense?
Yeah, the idea that the issue with Triss was costume.
We was like, do you know what? She's like, I think she's like African background or something like that, right? Her hair,
who cares?
Her hairstyle was what it was, right? And I was like, do you know what it is? That hair I can't stand. That's what. Who the fuck said that?
It's ridiculous. Also,
so dumb.
It bugs me a lot, as it turns out, hair's a thing for me. Because, and I know someone's going, you're just saying about skin color. Like, mate, Monica Dambo is my jam.
Yeah.
So it turns out hair's a thing for me. Her hair looks very strange, but I guess it's the right color, but it's just not on the right head. Do you know what I mean? It's the wrong hair for her head.
Yeah.
Like, if they'd have gone, like, for example, it bugs me. Everything about Triss is a casting issue, and then trying to shoehorn her into the role. Yeah. They should have doubled down on what they did have, not try and realize that they messed up and make her into the thing. Because just every time I look at her, it's an uncanny valley. Yeah. And then there's none of the strength of Triss that we know. There's none of the keen mind, especially none of the confidence. So it bugs me. It bugs me. It's like what they did in I think it's episode 1. With Yen, where the whole of season 1 she's basically whining that stuff was taken away from her. Then the very next line is, we knew what we were getting into, we did this all stuff. Bruv, like, that is the Yen that I want, but it's not the Yen you've presented to us.
Yeah.
So I gotta be honest, Triss really bugs me.
With Vesemir though, did you feel anything better about Vesemir?
A little bit. So I do think he's a better actor than I gave him credit for in episodes 1 and 2. I still don't like him.
Right.
There's just something about him where I feel like he doesn't fit. I actually have I'm enjoying the show. Yeah. But I do have a lot of negative critiques of it. A lot of them are to do with the Witchers.
Fairly as well.
Yeah. Vesemir, for me, it is just a casting issue. I think he's really good, but he's the wrong guy for the role.
Right.
Right? Like, I can't think of another example, but if you were to pick, okay, let's say you do you're gonna cast Superman, but you don't pick Henry Cavill.
Right.
You can pick someone great, but you should have picked Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Nothing against that other guy, but it shouldn't have been them.
Exactly.
That's sort of how I feel about Vesemir, but he's very good. The rest of my something's off with the Witches. Something is off.
They do, like, you remember what you said as well in the previous episode where you were saying, and I watched episodes 3, so it answered a few of these questions, where like the witches were treating Ciri in a weird way, like they were like picking on her and stuff like that. And in the next episode, they start off picking on her, but then they try to they kind of respect her for her perseverance and stuff.
So
like that.
this happens pretty early on,
and I was like, okay, see, that's kind of remedying. It's getting closer to what we're supposed to be, but
except
they still feel a little bit off.
I have an issue with this as well.
Go on.
Which maybe we should just get into it.
Yeah, should we get into it?
Yeah, let's get into it. Before we do that,
yes,
we do have a group of special. Wait, is it special? Super Bros, frick.
that's right.
Bro, why don't you do this?
We have a group of super bros
There
who
we go.
support us over at patreon.com/Combro Stations. These guys support us at the $15 tier over Patreon, just like you guys can. They really help everything happen on this channel and, on our channel, and subsequently this channel, because we're the leader of the FPM. That's
It's true.
fine. These are fine, amazing people who support us are Diogo Dildo, Isak the Ultimate Cumsock, Sabine from Smallville, the Star Wars Encyclopedia, Adam Sunling, Jeremy Runner, that's right, the official Avenger, Super Sus Ben Fryer, who's also the $69 tier guy.
Gamer.
Nice.
There is content there, by the way.
There is. You
Don't forget to watch
You
it.
may not want it, but it's there.
It's there. Yeah, I didn't say it was good. I said it was there.
Ultima Seplare, Adam the High Quality Potato, the Filthy FIFA Fanatic Joe McCormack, my juicy left nut, the super sexy producer Sean, Big Boy Billy, Catsburn the Friendly Patron, the Gamer from Gaming Shy Dave Bindis, Chris the Artiste, Rick, the Hentai Dwarf, Master Chief himself, Albuscori, Kevin the number one simp.
We can't do 5 minutes.
I was like, should we wait till
I was like, he'll commit, he'll do it.
of Xbox. Thank you guys so much for keeping the lights and mics on and the streamcast going here.
That's right.
Okay, so
Let's get into it.
we kick things off. We open up with Ciri training on her straw target,
Yeah, the mannequin thing.
giving slashes, and I have to say, it didn't look too impressive, but obviously she's a novice at the moment.
This is the thing. Don't forget, Ciri is, I mean, in the show she's say like 15, but in the game at this point she's like a 10 or 12-year-old girl.
Yeah.
And this is her first time holding a sword because she's a princess, so fair enough.
She's slashing it, weak-wristed and everything like that. But
Yeah.
she's learning. This is the whole
That's the
point.
point.
Of this thing,
Everybody's
exactly.
got to start somewhere, fair enough. Yeah.
Exactly. She's slashing away, and Henry's working away by hand on his armor. Like,
Yeah. It's like his armor or a saddle, so it's like leather.
I think it's his armor. I think because he wears something similar shaped afterwards.
Okay.
I think it's that. I don't know how he's working on that by hand because it's all like contoured to each muscle of his body.
Yeah, that's gonna
Require
maybe
a
his hands have abs.
He's like, aha! I feel it. Okay,
I
I've got
know
that.
which piece of armor this is.
I know my body better than Yennefer, okay? And better than Triss, all right? Anyway, he's working on that, and he sees that she's, like, obviously tiring herself out.
She
from
gets like a
trying so much.
PTSD flashback thing of I forget what, but it's something.
It's bad. And he tells her, like, you know, you need to go rest, you need to go eat
Yeah.
something and whatnot. It's like, no, I should keep training. That's what she wants to continue training because she feels like this is important.
Yeah.
And at that moment, she has that flashback of the woods, something
That's
like
it.
that.
Yeah.
And doesn't really understand what it is, but it's just a flashback of some sort. And he's like trying to reassure her, like, you know, I'm here to like protect you and
Yeah.
whatnot, everything's going to be okay. Then they go back inside. They go to get some food.
My first beef.
Is it the witches?
Yeah.
The witches
all
have
the
a
witches.
they makes a joke like, what's the difference between a witcher and a shitter? A shitter eventually smell goes away. And I'm like,
I mean, it's like it's okay, but like,
haha.
ha. And
It's a
then
guys group, that's what it is, right?
Lambert basically blames Geralt for Eskel's death.
Yes, this is really shitty. They make Ciri go away because they make fun of her.
Yeah, Is it? Oh yeah, they make fun of her a couple of times.
Make go away.
Yeah, she leaves.
Geralt goes to get some food and then start talking. It's like he's chosen who he wants to be with and whatnot, and he chose the girl over Eskel, and
it's like
blaming him essentially for his death.
You're a Witcher. You know exactly the life that you've chosen. You know what a Leshy is. You know that whatever happened is very bizarre, and how fixated Vesemir is on it. Who's like one of the oldest witches who's seen the world many times over, and he doesn't know what's happened. And who they both say, if this didn't happen, we'd be dead. Maybe more of you would be dead. The hookers and Ciri might be dead. And he just takes it out on Geralt, which it's really weird. I really not like the Witchers a lot.
It's strange because they're supposed to be like family, right?
They are
supposed
family,
to be brothers side by side and understand each other. It was weird that Eskel decided he wanted to pick a fight with Geralt in the first place, right?
I'm going to put that down to like he's infected with something cool.
I was like, but he's not exactly in the right space at the moment. He's being fucking eaten up from the inside. No problem. But the rest of them, they should just be like, I know exactly where your intentions lie. We should all be like on the same page. Right. Clearly, if it had to be killed, if you killed Eskel, it had to be done. Something had to be done.
Well, this is the thing is Geralt, regardless of their age, is kind of the big brother of the crew. Everybody knows Geralt's the strongest, let's say, right? Yeah. And definitely one of the most capable, one of the most reasonable, one of the most level-headed. Not to say that he's the best and that he's like Superman or whatever to the Justice League, but he kind of is.
Yeah.
He's someone that everybody there can be happy to defer to. Yeah. Not that he would in every situation, but like, so the idea that he was just like, screw it, I'll just murder Eskel.
Murder for no reason, right?
It is kind of ridiculous. And then he leaves, and this scene's heavy-handed. He has like a flashback down the hall of him and Eskel, like let's say the last time they were there. And it's supposed to show us how much it's weighing on Geralt. And what it really does is just show us a kind of it felt poorly acted. I'm not saying that they're bad actors. It just felt like a poorly done scene.
It's because it only served the purpose to try and convince us that Geralt didn't actually want to kill Eskel. It's like, we knew that.
Know. Exactly.
We didn't think for 1 second that Henry... Sorry, I keep saying Henry.
I know what you mean.
I keep saying... we didn't think for 1 second that Geralt was going around on a murderous rampage.
Finally, I get to kill this guy.
Finally!
Right. I've been waiting for this.
It was so pointless, and it felt pointless because of that.
It's very strange. It's very strange. And then he continues down the hall and goes to visit Vesemir, who is, and this I actually did like a lot, where Vesemir is sort of dissecting Eskel's remains. Yeah. Not because he wants to know what's happened, I think, although he is trying to find out. I think he's trying to bury himself in work so he doesn't have to face having lost a son. So, I like a lot of the decisions around Vesemir. I just think he's the wrong guy for it. Yeah. But he does it really well.
A little bit later, he does a very good acting.
Yes, he does.
Scene and whatnot. I think, is that... that comes later on, and we'll talk about it.
I feel like we're gonna have to clump a lot of things together. My big criticism about the show as well is this season is still as choppy as the last season. Last season, I didn't like the time stuff, but it makes sense for the chops, for the cuts. This, it's not there. All the timelines are synced up. Why are we chopping?
It's so weird. Sometimes there's a weird thing where, like, in episode 4, there's a bit where they're in the sewer. They go, and all they do is like, let's follow this guy.
Oh my god, yeah.
And then they go back, and I'm like, why did you put that in there?
Right.
On top of that being a pointless scene, you took away from this thing that was happening over here, and you came right back to it.
Yeah,
it's so dumb.
It's some very odd decision making here.
He's chopping up Eskel's body, trying to bury himself in work, trying to get him to figure out the answers because it's one of his boys.
And there are no answers. That's the sad thing here.
Yes, he's and they do. Geralt sees what's going on here. And he's like, look, you need to let him rest.
Let him rest. Yeah, that's right.
Let him finally rest in peace. And then he just like sort of sighs and goes, "Yeah, okay, then we'll do that, and we'll finally do that to him."
Yeah. We can keep it here. Basically, they take. In the next scene of these two, they take his body to the School of the Wolf graveyard.
I'm just going to find where I am in this. Oh, here we go, yeah.
I'm just jumping down so we can
That's fine.
Bury the Eskel hatchet.
They go to like a cave of some sort.
Yeah. But initially, I thought it was the cave, like the cave of, in the game and where they make the witches, but it wasn't. But I thought it was straight off the bat.
I didn't know where the hell he was. I was like, they put him down on there. What are they going to do with him? Turn him into firewood or something like that? Because he's wood.
Oh, I see what he did there. It's kind of cool though. So like, wolves arrive, and that's It's kind of almost like, are you familiar with sky burials?
No.
So this is a real thing in like Tibet and certain parts of Asia where they used to worship the sky, and so they would take people's bodies up high and leave it for the birds, which are as close to God as you can get, to eat the body, and then you bury the bones.
And I guess they can fly out.
Right, it's called a sky burial.
Right.
And it's kind of like a forest burial in that way, where
Yeah.
the school of the wolf leaves the body of wolves for wolves. Yeah, I don't know.
Makes
It was quite cool. I don't know if that's canon or in the books, but I liked it. I thought it was cool.
That was quite cool. This is actually the scene where I found it was like really, really.
Vesemir
had
sold
a
it,
really,
yeah.
really good scene because there was like some twitches in his face of like
I agree.
clearly him being hurt.
Yeah.
And again, he's a Witcher as well, so he's supposed to have like no emotions left in him. But this was so painful, so big that it overcome everything. and
It
he
definitely
was
felt more
doing
like
great.
saying goodbye to a son than a colleague,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
So, and this is the thing. It's like, what I'm saying about Vesemir is not that he's not good. It's that I think he looks wrong.
yeah.
And that's just a personal preference thing. But he is good. I just don't dig I don't dig the person they picked. I think his accent, which is, by the way, I'm a big proponent of leaving actors with their natural accent unless they can do good accents.
Yeah.
If you do a dog shit American, just be British.
Like Tom Holland can do a good American accent,
Right.
No problem.
So he can do it, exactly. But like, anyway.
They say something quite cool here, which is going to further on the plot later on. They go, I can't understand how this happened. How can Aleshi mutate a person? And Geralt says the world is like changing beneath our feet, and I'm worried that we're missing everything.
Yeah.
And they can't quite figure it out. But then, yeah, and then they go like, oh, let's say goodbye to Esther.
Right.
Then the wolves come, they're like, they're here, and they leave, and
It's kind of a cool, it's a weird scene, but it's quite cool and touching in its own way.
yeah, it was alright. Where do we go back now?
Yeah, I think we cut to Madam Lady.
Yes, to Professor McGonagall, to
That's
Sarah, who is writing the names of all the mages that were lost in battle.
Yeah, on like a floating card.
A magic card. So
Yeah.
they're going to send it off to God to say, hey, we accept these guys or whatever. She's writing it, and she gets right down to the end, Yennefer Vengerberg.
She doesn't actually write it. She doesn't write Yen on there, does she? I feel like it's the
I
last...
think she pauses, and then she writes it.
Okay.
I think she does. If I don't remember, let me know. Adam Something, Adam Something's a big fan of the show. He loves it a lot.
Yeah,
so,
he's basically a scholar. He's a
scholar.
big fan.
So you can tell us right there. Anyway, yeah, she's really upset there. And then next they take Yen's old boyfriend, and they're like questioning him in like a round table room, almost like a trial, but he's not under arrest.
Yes, yeah.
And they're like asking us, like, what are you doing? And stuff
It's also
like
very
that.
clear that I forget his name, Stregobor.
Yes.
Feels like he's his man, and then he sort of flexes a bit, which was nice to see. But I don't like this guy. Oh, it's clear that Stregobor's a douche, but so's this guy.
Yeah, he's worked for him. He's obviously been caught up in a lot of very powerful people,
Yeah.
and done some really shitty stuff which can't really be excused.
Right.
And it's like, oh, we can't trust you, but you got some good in you, but you're crap,
Right.
Yeah.
And then Yen appears?
Yeah, so
She just walks in,
They're talking
right?
about the Battle of Sodom and all the mages that they lost, and one of them goes, "Yeah, we'll be burying 14 mages," and she goes,
13.
"Boom!" Right there. A Madam Lady turns around with like tears in her eyes, like, "Oh, my daughter has returned."
Again, if this had been set up in season 1,
Yeah.
that she feels this way about Yen, I would have felt it more. Because she does the scene well.
Yeah.
This character hasn't shown us that she cares that much, except for us being told that she cares this much.
It's
Do you know what I
all
mean?
been in the first 2 episodes.
Right.
It's been a bit sudden. Anyway, we cut to Nilfgaard, and for some reason, Nilfgaard guys are taking in all the elves, and I guess it's because she made friends with with Fringilla, and Fringilla's got the
it
Nilfgaard
might be
connection,
that.
so they're all being given like food, and they're being given clothes and stuff like that, and they're not living in the forest anymore, so they're all very happy. Some of the elves are a little bit cautious. They're like, "Oh, what's going to happen? What are we doing? Why are we trusting the humans?" And so on and so forth. But it's the main elf that's pregnant that's sort of coordinating this all.
Yeah, forget her name.
I don't know her name either.
Queen Elf.
Queen Elf. That's
Mage. She's the mage there as well, isn't it?
I don't know.
Isn't she?
Oh yeah, she did do magic. She
Yeah.
did do magic. She turned off Fringilla.
That's
She
right.
just,
You're right.
like a light switch. Just there you go. Yeah. So that happens. They Oh, something as well that was interesting. They mentioned monoliths. So the boyfriend of Yennefer. Apparently, he's an archaeologist, and he keeps talking about how the monoliths are connected to everything in the land. And I was like, I feel like you're trying to say something important there, but I don't know what that means.
Yeah, and you're not really giving us like what are they for? We don't know.
At this point, I'm just like, I don't know what's going
Right.
on. Anyway, Where do we go next? Oh yeah, so we cut back to Siri and she's training again on the dummy, and Geralt isn't around, but the
Well,
guys.
let's do
come now.
the series stuff in one big go because I want to talk about it. You did miss one thing though, by
Did
the
I?
way. Yeah. So while Yen's here,
Yeah.
they break up that meeting, and Madam Lady basically explains to her, "We're making a play for the Mage Council."
Okay.
Is that here? I feel like that's
Maybe.
here. Yeah, and that basically we
actually.
need you to like stay out of sight because you're going to mess everything up.
Right.
Which is like, thanks for saving us. The whole continent.
Mm.
I'm glad you're alive, but now I need to fuck off.
Can you just go away?
Can you like, you're going to mess up my potential freaking promotion, so I need to fuck off. Even
got
though
a
you're
plan.
my daughter and I love you, but like I need you to go away. Cool.
No problem.
Yeah.
I'm clearly fucked up here. I can tell from. Can you tell from my face? I'm clearly fucked up. But don't worry about it. I'll just go hide downstairs. Don't worry. About
Right.
it. And is now the Siri bit okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so we cut to Siri. She's training on the dummy, and the lads, the Witcher lads, come and give her a bit of a hard time. It's like, "Oh, princess, are you okay? Do you want to be taken back to
Right,
your,
right, right.
your quarters? You know like that?" And then she's like, "Oh, I want to do what a Witcher does. She wants to like toughen herself up, and says like why she's here."
Yeah.
But they go, "If you want to do what a Witcher does, come with me." And they go off to the obstacle course.
Yeah.
The obstacle course, I have to say, when I first saw it, it looked very underwhelming. And it's not the biggest obstacle course.
It's
in
not the
world.
biggest obstacles. I have it here, by the way. It's the first level in the Hercules game. It's
Yeah.
Philatiti's thing, yeah.
That's what it is. And I'm like, I hope there's another stage somewhere that's like extra hard. Because
Yeah.
I'm sure, like, she's getting through it, at least by the end of this. The other witch is probably breezing through it. This is
Right,
nothing now, you know what I mean? Anyway, so yeah, they go to the obstacle course. And she gets up there. And they're like giving her shit. They're like, you sure you don't want to go back to your castle, princess, and stuff like that?
Yeah, she keeps getting murked. Basically, like she cuts her arm, she falls off the thing. Like she's getting beaten up.
That first hit was, I felt it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
And then she falls like what, 6 feet and lands like flat on her back.
Mm.
Like it's rough.
It was a hard time. But she continues. She still continues to do it.
So here's the thing that bugs me.
Go on.
And I'm going to skip ahead to episode 4 as well in this, just to get across my point about not liking whatever's going on with the witches.
Yeah.
So in a later scene, I think it's Cohen, the guy with all the scars on his head, comes in to the main hall and goes, "Geralt, you need to see this." Trope. But, how is he going to... You need to see this. And he comes out, and Ciri, who had been being made fun of by Lambert and Cohen, is there getting through the course. She's got fairly far through it.
Yeah.
And now all the witches and Lambert are there praising her and giving her encouragement.
Go on, you can do this, yeah.
Now, what I don't mind that transition. I mind that it just happens.
Yeah.
There's no line, there's no reason for them to just suddenly start respecting Ciri. Like a little scene of Ciri saying like, of Lambert go like, "Why do you want to do this?" And she's like, "Well, I tried living in the castle and the whole place was burned down around me. I want to be strong so I can protect myself and I don't want to feel scared again." Something like that.
Or even a buddy cop sort of thing where like they're over dinner, so one of them says something and then she claps back. And it's like, oh shit, she can hold her own. All right, all right.
Or like even just a little flex, like, I want to be a witch. What I want to do, I'm going to do it. I don't want to feel helpless again. And if you have any problems with it, why don't you speak to Geralt? Everybody knows Geralt's going to fuck him up. Cool. So like a little bit of, I have a compelling reason. I'm serious about it because she's not giving up. And also, at the end of the day, you got a problem with it, you can speak to Geralt. A little bit of a flex. Like, okay, there's some bite to this. There's none of that. We just go from they're pricks to go on, Ciri, you can do it. And then the thing that really bugs me is afterwards, in episode 4, they're just pricks to her again.
Yeah.
Like, what happened to the okay, we're kind of accepting you here.
Yeah. It's
And they're not like throwing shade and getting it wrong. They're pricks.
they're pricks. That was a prick movement, what they did
Yeah.
in that episode, yeah.
So it bugs me. There's just the witches are written really poorly.
They were a bit. We then cut to Yennefer after she's had her little discussion and whatnot.
Yeah.
She's trying to have a nice soak in a
Yeah,
nice
she goes for a bath.
and she's going to try and heat it up because obviously it's very cold on the stone floors.
Yeah.
Puts out her hands,
Can't do it.
no magic, can't do anything. And then she's like, "Fuck!" And then the witches, other mages come behind her and are like, "Did you kiss your elven father with that mouth?" It's just like, that's a weird thing.
That's
to
a
ask.
very weird amount of shade to throw.
That's really strange like that. Anyway, they get over there and it's like, oh, you think the savior of Stregobor, not sorry, Stregobor, Sodom would know how to warm thing. She warms up the pool
Very easily.
and then they all get naked and get in the bath. And I'm like,
Except
okay.
Triss.
Oh yeah,
Who, by the way, looks very weird.
Triss does not. This is the first time we see her with her beautiful fiery red hair that fixes everything.
It's something. Also, they lined her skin, gave her freckles.
It's very bad. It's very bad.
What the hell?
Anyway, they get in the pool. Yennefer gets in the pool. Triss, aren't you going to come join us? And she's like, no, not this time.
No, I'm not ready or something. And it's like, either...
She's clearly, because she doesn't want to show her scars from where she got burnt.
You know what it probably is? She doesn't want to show her tiny little scar where she got a match burned her and she fell over. You know?
She's like, I'm not gonna go inside. I'm like, okay, all right.
Cool,
whatever.
you're self-conscious. It's a good thing, it's a pity you're not in a place where they can just change your body whenever they want, or you can change your own body whenever you want, or heal yourself whenever you want.
They're gonna have to take her second womb to do that, though, unfortunately, because every time you modify something, that's a womb we're gonna have to.
It's a womb.
It's like, can you just remove? I've got this little my hair doesn't sit right over here.
Right.
Can you sort that out permanently? Thank you very much. Oh shit, my nose. Oh no, I didn't want to. Oh
Damn it.
Anyway, they'll get in the pool. They have their sex in the pool, and then it's all great. Then we cut to Stregobor, who's talking in a lecture or something. He conjures like a fire demonstration.
Oh yeah, he's teaching defense against the dark arts or something.
Right? There's people just listening, and he calls the fire thing Falca. He says Falca was a power-hungry mutt of a girl who cried death to all the kings when Verdank spurned her elven mother. So I guess it's someone who previously had a lot of power and got done wrong, and then this is like revenge.
He's basically starting the propaganda campaign of why using any fire magic is bad.
Anyone who uses fire magic is clearly this level of evil.
Especially a girl.
Exactly.
See, this is how you do a freaking sexist. Everything Stregobor does is beefing out girls for no reason, right?
Exactly.
Cool. A dickhead.
He goes, she killed the innocent people just for revenge. And this is the point as well where Yen's old boyfriend comes in through the door and is like, that's wrong. That's not how that is. The history book says that she was trying to take back what was rightfully hers. And they have a disagreement. And he outright says it. He's like, she was quarter elven just like Yennefer. And it's like, fuck. You can't just... Oh, she's quarter elven. That's quarter elven. Well, then she's definitely an evil person as well. Then, right?
You know,
that's not. It's like, oh, history repeats itself and other nonsense he says. But then he does something quite cool.
Yeah.
Quite cool, as in for the show.
Oh yeah.
He goes, "You guys don't know. I was there. The people that died and the things I lost." And he lifts up his hands and the magic just dissipates and it's just two stumps.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh shit!"
That was a very good scene.
And then he brings it back, and then it's like, fuck. That could be any one of them. Any one of them could be doing that, and we wouldn't know. Damn, that's so cool.
That was very cool.
Yeah.
That was a very... So, like, I really didn't like the whole fire demon. It was cool to look at, but he's, like, got this fire demon to show...
It's very clearly propaganda, isn't it?
Right. But then the hand thing,
yeah,
where it's just finally a moment of honesty, was pretty good. He's like, the reason that... you think I'm jumping to conclusions. Well, this is what it costs you.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, that's pretty compelling.
Yeah, shit. Anyway, so he does that, and he pretty much... who doesn't want to listen to him after that, right? We cut back to... Is that Syria? The first part of this film?
So we got to Fringilla and Elf Mage Girl, Queen Elf lady, pregnant lady, talking. And basically, it comes out... I think the elf lady just comes out and says it, but basically Fringilla is 100% aware that she was not talking to Ymir, that she was talking to the Undying Queen or whatever it was called.
Yeah, Undying Queen.
Yeah. Like, they're both fully aware of it. And she basically says, yep, I was told I wanted to hear, but she's going to do it anyway. And this union of, like, the elves and us serves everybody. So it's not that I bought into a fancy lie, it's that it serves the cause.
Yeah.
So weirdly it made me respect Fringilla a lot more, where she was like, oh, I know I was lied to.
Yeah.
Like, about who was saying what, but what they're delivering is worth it, so it's cool. And I was like, okay, you're not like the stupid pawn being moved by the chess master. You're, like, fully aware of where you are in the world, which was, it was cool.
And then we quickly cut back to the castle where Yennefer's walking around down below, and she does run into the guy with the infinite swords and discuss, this is what I have to do. I have to stay low for the cause that's going on. But then she also runs into Stregobor.
Yeah.
And Stregobor
does the same thing what Madam Lady did.
Exactly, in the interrogation room.
Yeah.
And sticks his hands into her head. First of all, puts her in like a cell inside her head.
Yeah.
And then interrogates her inside her interrogation, inside her imagination. And it looks painful as fuck. And just as he's getting all the images of like the elves and stuff like that, Madam Lady comes and just like, no!
There's
to the wall.
one thing, I don't know if you caught it.
Go on.
But he's not just sort of saying like, are you a spy or any of that shit. I think one of the final things he says is, how did you control fire magic?
Yeah.
It's not a, you did it, that's bad. It's a, this shouldn't be possible. How did you do it? I want to be able to do the thing.
That bit right there.
And then Madam Lady comes and like force blasts him into the wall.
Force blasts him and it's like, you will answer for this.
Yeah. Also, has no one clocked that Yen can't defend herself?
Fam?
One of the most potent magic wielders here.
Fam a Lamborghini?
Stregobor shouldn't have been able to do... Maybe he could get the drop on her and get it, but then she should have munched him.
Yeah, it's weird that he even thought that was a proposed idea, especially knowing how powerful she was, right?
Oh, that's pretty suicidal.
I'd have been like, I ain't even going to touch her. I ain't going to touch it.
I mean, let's say you do get the drop on her, and let's say you're the same power.
Yeah.
Like, do you really want to go into a fight with someone as strong as you?
Yeah. Do you remember what happened to Falca? Do you want to show the hands again?
Yeah, exactly. Also, good point. Has no fingers. How to do the finger head thing.
There you go.
Crazy.
Think about that. He's extended out with the force.
So, Madam Lady is like, you're going to answer for this.
Yeah.
Even though apparently nobody answers for anything, and I have no one to take it to.
It was stupid because in the next scene they go to like the council again and they put him in the middle and she says like, oh, he tried to attack Yennefer or stuff like that. And then he reverse propagandas the whole thing and is just sort of like, she did the whole fire magic thing, which is totally not possible.
That's
not
forbidden.
Supposed to be a thing. It's forbidden. Yeah. And it's like, oh, and she got captured by the Nilfgaardians and came back unscathed. How is that?
Right.
How is that?
Excuse me, sir. You're actually on trial for attempted murder.
Excuse me, can you not do that?
Yeah, and those are some really great questions. But for right now,
and these fucking idiots are just like,
oh, it's a good point.
Fucking solid point.
It's a good point.
Fucking idiots. And I'm like, and to say is just there like, oh, can't believe I fucking believed any of you would do anything.
Right, it's ridiculous.
Anyway, yeah, so they plant the ideas that she's a spy and whatnot, and that's the reason why she survived. And Seiya then goes to
Bullsack guy.
Yennefer goes to Bullsack guy, finds out that he's downstairs and whatnot, but she leaves. She doesn't do anything.
She also says, he's like, if you come to kill me, he's like, no, your death has to serve a purpose.
Exactly.
They just, whatever.
Set up the basically next bit, and Seiya says, you have to kill the Bullsack guy. And it's like, what?
Crazy.
I'm not a murderer.
To prove, which by the way, Yen, you've killed, 20,000, I think is what they said you killed. But, I'm not a murderer. And then also
to prove that you're not a spy, you have to kill this guy to serve the whole purpose.
In fairness, Yen says, well, a spy would do it.
Yeah.
If I was a spy, I would do it.
Yeah. So
it doesn't prove anything. You're just having me kill a guy.
It's just nonsense.
You're just having me kill a guy.
Oh, God. And what happens next?
Stregobor tells the council about that Yen's bad.
This is good. So Yen is about to. She's like, I fucking had enough. I'm gonna leave this whole place. So she's just about to leave, and as she's on her way out, she sees her boyfriend. They have a little discussion. They're like, leaving is the worst thing and whatnot. And just in that moment, she gets a voice in her ear, and it's the mother.
Oh
undying mother.
The undying.
It's like, come to me.
Yeah.
Because now she has something that she needs. Because when she first met the undying mother, she had power. She had everything she wanted.
Pretty much, yeah.
And now she needs her power.
Yeah, wasn't she the only one that didn't ask for anything?
Yeah, she was just like, I don't need you.
I don't need you.
I'll find my own way to anything. I can make anything. You know what I'm saying? She said it like that, by the way.
Exactly like that. She's from North Wheezy. I guess, where were we? So, basically the witches are watching Ciri do the thing. Geralt comes to see it. Yeah. It's weird because he seems pretty disapproving. She gets almost all the way.
I can't interpret what he says because he gets right all the way to the end, the last bit, and in fact, I don't know how she fell off at the last bit. It seemed like she
know.
bounced off of it for some reason. She gets all the way to the end, lands on the thing, bounces off on the floor, bleeding all over the place.
So
and he's
close.
just, so close.
And it's like,
Why? Why, bruv?
the other thing is, so like a bit of me is like, okay, he had her on straw dummies.
Yeah.
So she's gone way above and beyond in a bad way. Like he's trying to make her progress very orderly. She's just completely ignored it. And then failed at the thing she went against him to do.
Yeah.
So, but like, is he impressed? Because it kind of shows she can do a lot more than he had her doing. Or is he annoyed because he was right? You know, had she beaten it, she could have said, you know, I'm ready, and he would have gone, well, yeah, you're right, I was wrong, but she didn't.
No.
So it's very odd. It's odd.
They take Siri back. He takes Siri back, patches her up and makes sure she's okay. Tries to explain to her that the reason why like he hasn't taken her to like the obstacle course or hasn't gone any further is because she needs to train. She needs to get better before she can go out there because it's dangerous for a human versus a witcher.
Yeah, he says like, do you know what happens if a witcher cracks her skull? You stick him in his cot with like lavender and witch ankles and whatever, and you know, in a couple of days he's better.
Fairly common witch ankles.
Yeah, witch ankles. Everybody knows witch ankles. Common witcher thing,
Yeah.
obviously. And so the point is like, we're not human.
Yeah.
And we can survive all sorts of things. Like any one of those decoctions or potions will probably kill a human.
Yeah.
They're poisonous. That's the whole reason they're mutated.
Yeah.
You know, like you're tough, but we're not human.
But you're still human. You can die from stuff.
And a girl, you're a child, not a child. You're like a teenager. You're not fully formed even.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you gotta chill.
Yeah. Anyway, she storms out, and in that moment, Geralt spots like a root coming out from the wall.
Yeah.
And he pulls on the root, and a bit of the wall like crumbles away, and there's her scarf that she got from
Her mum.
her grandmother. Right?
That's the one.
Her grandmother, right? I can't remember her name. Anyway, her grandmother.
It's not Cersei, but it's something like that, isn't it?
No, Cersei's from Game of Thrones, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, gets her thing, and he sees a root as well following it, and he's like, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah. So he goes, finds Ciri in like the hall,
Yeah.
and starts asking her basically about her feelings. She's like, if you were to think about the forest, how do you feel, and stuff like that.
Yeah. What do you feel? How does it? If you think of one word, what would it be? And she's like, I feel like a pull. It's like, if you were to be pulled, where would you go? And she looks, and she has like a vision again, and she sees the woods.
Yeah.
And then they decide they're gonna go investigate. What
So it's
the hell
also
the
cool
feeling
because
is.
Geralt already knows he's going to go somewhere. He comes to Ciri with his armor and his swords.
Yeah.
My one beef is you have 20 witches with you, bruv.
Yeah.
Why are you going, you and a little girl?
One man, that's it. I know you're a lone wolf, but come on now, come on.
Right? Like you actually have a lot of backup, like a lot of backup.
On the road, you don't. Here today, you do.
So maybe you could be like, yo, boys, Vesemir,
Yeah.
do you fancy tooling up? I just, it will suck if I'm wrong, but I got a hunch and I need some help. No, we're just going on our own.
Nah, that's all right. Don't worry. You guys stay here and do whatever the fuck witches do when they're not witchering.
And then so like they basically cut to it being in the forest.
Yes.
Geralt, is it Geralt that tells her of her mum's power, right?
Yeah. So he goes, it's like your mother had a power and like an uncontrollable magical power.
Yeah.
And it's my belief that it's passed on to you. It's like, well, why didn't you tell me that before? Well, I didn't want to bother you, like worry you in case I was wrong.
Right.
But it turns out this is the case and whatnot. And just as they're talking, she senses like they're getting close to their area. They go around the tree, and
There's another tree.
There's another tree there, except this tree has a face.
It's
And
Eskel's Leshy. It's the same one, right?
Yeah, so they see it from a distance, and it's like it hasn't noticed them yet, but they're like, it's missing an arm. It's Eskel's leg.
That's it.
And as they get ready, the thing notices them and just pulls branches out of the ground.
Yeah.
There's like stuff, and it grabs Ciri,
Grabs
and starts pulling
Ciri,
her.
beefs Geralt. I feel like it punches Geralt away.
Yeah,
And then he gets ready to go, and it just gets...
he like heats up his sword
Yeah,
with his
yeah,
Igni, about to go for it.
Which also is not a canon thing. It really bugs me.
And then, just as he's about to like attack it properly, something like a centipede with blades and goat horns,
Right.
comes out and just
Tears
murks
it like
the
it's a sheet of
Leshy.
paper.
There you go, cut it off. And I was like, I thought you could only kill it by fire through the. Anyway, whatever.
Right. I thought, I'm so glad you said that.
Let's ignore that bit,
Yeah.
shall we? Destroys it, and Geralt's like, run, because this thing's serious. It just took out the Leshy like nothing.
Adam Sandling will know exactly what it is, because this is 100% canon for sure.
For sure, yes. He does pull a Quen out so he can block the attack from the
that
thing.
was cool.
Quite cool.
Cool to see.
He manages to block 1 or 2 attacks, but then he gets knocked back again really quite
Yeah.
far.
And we cut to Siri running away.
Running away in like a valley somewhere.
Yeah, somehow she got way away from the forest, and decides this waterfall in the middle of a really rocky, hard to move around in terrain, that's the place to be.
Good spot to hide. She hides underneath a rock for a moment.
Yeah, for all of 2 seconds.
And then she decides it's safe, comes out.
Oh, yeah, she can't hear anything.
And then turns out that the thing is now the other side of her, up on top of the waterfall.
Right, yeah, I also noticed that.
Comes crawling down. And,
Centipeding its way down.
It's fucking creepy looking.
It is pretty creepy.
Especially when it comes up close, because like it starts to like stand up and it's got arms.
Yeah. It's really weird.
Strange looking thing.
This is a chaos demon for sure.
Yeah. It's about to like attack her, and Geralt comes out of nowhere with a fucking saving blade straight down the back, cuts off a couple of arms, and chops off the head.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Which
Dinner
is
time.
I'm guessing this has got to be like a rock paper scissors thing, like centipede beats Leshy beats Witcher, centipede beats Leshy, Witcher beats centipede.
Yeah.
You know, because
I don't know what the hand signals are.
also I'm on my left hand. Everything's all janky.
I can't do it left-handed.
Like, it's weird that this thing just murks a Leshy that gave so many witches so much trouble, and then Geralt's just like, oh hey, I kill you now.
Yeah.
Where are we now?
That's all the end of that. But then the last scene is Yen with the mages gonna do an execution, a royal execution for this ballsack guy in
they
front
have
of
kings and stuff
in front of the kings.
Foltest and that one king from Redania is there, and like then also they give Yen a giant sword or axe or something. Like, she's a mage, right? I mean, they don't know she can't do magic, right?
They like, okay, you're gonna kill him in front of them, and it's like, okay, all right, well, we'll do that. And she prepares to do it. She grabs the axe, and as she grabs the axe, she hears more of those voices about saying, "Come to me, and I'll give you power and whatnot." And she's like, okay. Looks at the ballsack guy. The ballsack guy looks up at her, classic fashion of the last minute, and he prepares for death. She picks up the axe, swing, cuts open the chains. Yeah. He's free. She then goes and knocks down a few torches.
Let's run away. This very simple distraction, minor obstacle, will hinder the world's most powerful mages for enough time that we can steal a horse and run away, despite all the personal guards of the king potentially having crossbows or bows and arrows, and all of them being, mages. Yeah. Well thought out.
Mm-hmm. They make it away though. Fucking
well done.
How the fuck that?
I mean, she's Yennefer of Vengerberg, so
yeah, and she runs, and they run away together to live happily ever after. Yeah. Psych.
Right. Psych.
That's episode 3 right there. We open up episode 4. Geralt is training with Ciri, ninja warrior style.
Yeah.
Fucking great stuff. Yeah. I love it. And
no. I feel like this is wrong. Ciri, maybe Geralt's there, but Ciri is currently on her own.
Yeah, they're doing it separately.
Yeah.
It looked like they were together when I wrote it down. I was like, no, they're separate.
And then she falls somehow and like busts her lip, and then a stranger comes and it's Triss, and she heals her face, and then she's like, if you can trust me, because if I didn't know where I was going, I wouldn't have got this far. And I think there is something magical about the cares. You got Care Morin and Care whatever, that they're maybe somewhat enchanted or something, because it's really easy to get lost around them, and that's a magical thing. I'm pretty sure that's real.
So you can't find it unless you actually are supposed to be.
Yeah, you have to know the way to get there.
Right.
Which is, I know it sounds dumb, like obviously you have to know the way to get anywhere, but like I think you can't accidentally get there.
Bro, you have so dumb, of course not. What are you talking about?
I think it's something like that.
No, I get that. I get the idea you're trying with there. Yeah, so Triss like helps her out and says like, I'm going there.
Yeah.
That's why like you can trust me and stuff like that. Heals her cheek, and guess who comes out of nowhere looking all sexy, carrying some meat for her. Geralt of Rivia, what
Carrying
you saying?
his meat for her, yeah.
Carrying his meat for her, And there's like
Triss. Yeah.
And what's funny is that I feel like Ciri in this moment gets it because
Ciri's fully aware. Like,
it's like, oh, you two know each other. It's like, of course you two know each other.
yeah.
It's like this drop dead gorgeous man right here. Of course he knows her.
Yeah.
Of course he does.
I think Ciri. It's weird because they have Ciri kind of act like a child so much.
Yeah.
In the show, she's somewhere around 15, 16, or 17, somewhere in that, like the upper teenage years. When the witches have all the hookers round, Ciri sees it and doesn't go, disgusting hooker. She goes, oh, good. Like, these guys are going to get to blow off some steam.
Yeah.
Right? And she knows exactly what's going on. So they write Ciri as like this kind of worldly young woman, but also a child.
Yeah.
It's weird.
This was very much like, oh, Dad, you can't have girlfriends.
Right. Oh, Dad, of course you're slaying puss. You look like that. You know?
Oh, God.
Also, I feel like their travel on the road to get to Kaer Morhen, the way we were shown it in the show, there wasn't going to be a lot of stopping off at inns banging hookers or banging barmaids. So why does she's correct, that is Geralt of Rivia,
she hasn't seen that side of it.
She doesn't know that yet. I mean, she hasn't. They haven't stopped off at loads of different inns along the way, and he's banged all the barmaids.
Maybe she's just very, she just understands a good-looking guy is going to get all the.
I mean, she is fundamentally human, and looking at Henry Cavill, so
not gonna lie.
like I mean,
fair enough. I feel for her. Yeah, so they take the boar and
they head back to the castle.
Dead thing he had on his shoulders as well. Back to the castle, and yeah,
there's a bunch of cuts here. So
the elves being rounded.
Elves
up.
are being picked on in Redania, and one needs to go to the toilet. We get it. People don't like elves.
Yeah, make him piss himself.
We already kind of knew that.
Cool.
Okay, Yen and Bullsack guy are there.
Yep.
And they decide this isn't the place to be. We need to go to Sintra. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Then we cut to Dijkstra.
One thing that happens in there, some crows fly over top of them and
this is a cool little,
And I was like, that's quite cool, but now it's paid a target on their head, so they need to leave.
Yeah.
What's really dumb is that she's out of nowhere, because she didn't have this when she left. She has a bright purple robe on, and I'm like, if that doesn't scream mage, then I don't know what is.
Also, it's like the finest robe mage clothing you've seen, right?
What the fuck is wrong with you? Get like a green hoodie or something like that, man.
Go and get like a tarp and put some string around it. You'll look like any one of these refugees.
Losers.
Idiots. But they decide they're going to go to Sintra.
Yes.
And then, because I guess we're still in Redania, we get to meet Dijkstra, who's a big favourite of mine from the games, who's a brilliant actor whose name I forget, who... Question for you.
Yes.
Do you think that owl is... what's her name? From the one with the ruby eyes from the game? Amelia? Amelia Einhart?
Amelia Earhart. Oh, no.
Is it Earhart?
Was it Earhart?
Einhart? Do you think that's so? Because she turns into an owl.
I think
and
so.
We see him speaking to the owl a bunch, and I don't think Dijkstra's not... I know Dijkstra from the games, and he's not insane. Right? Am I dumb? Or like super smart? Also, because the king of Redania would have a mage, right?
Yeah.
So we know a mage that can turn into an owl. What's her name?
I can't get the name.
Just go Amelia, which three?
3.
Is it Amelia? God damn it, what's her name?
It's Philippa Earhart.
Oh, it might be Philippa.
Was that
then.
her? I think it might be her.
Philippa then. I don't know where I got Amelia from. That's just what I wrote down.
Yeah, it's her. Yeah, it could be.
Because
could be.
Dijkstra's not insane, at least not in the game.
Yeah.
He speaks to the owl as if it's... He says to the king, let us handle it. And the king doesn't think he's crazy. And she turns into an owl a couple of times in the games, right?
Yeah.
Right? And I'll be up front. I have not watched more than episode 4.
Yeah,
so I don't... If that's a reveal, if I got it right, pat on the back to me. But like I haven't...
Write it down a piece of paper.
Yeah, exactly. Like I haven't watched. I don't know. It's just a theory. I could look really stupid, which is also a possibility. That'd be just as fun.
Which is very on brand for us. So
very on brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dijkstra comes in and just shanks a chick in the back of the head.
Is that this scene here? I think it is, right? You have to tell me.
I have here Dijkstra awesome entrance, so I assume he shanks
Okay,
somebody.
yeah. This is what happens. So like, she pours something in this woman pours something in a glass, gonna give it over to the king, and then just shank goes flying through the air through her neck, and then he just simply walks in, picks up the glass, gives it to the other guy there. It's like, drink this.
Yeah. What if he's not in on it? Yeah, innit? Are you like he could be afraid because you just shanked a chick in the back of the head,
innit? Or even if I understand why you killed her now because you think this is poisonous. What if I'm not in on it?
Right. Crazy.
Anyway,
The other thing is, how come
drinks it and dies?
The king is like, oh, Dijkstra, like.
It's like, oh, can't believe it. I've known him since I was 12.
Yeah. Like the most inconvenient thing is he's gonna have to order somebody to clean this up. Like. You surely having someone, even if you're a king and you're accustomed to this should be unusual, right?
It's very, very. He's very nonchalant. About it. Just, another death,
Right.
Anyway, that happens. Cut back to Kaer Morhen, and the gang are talking, eating food, and Triss is there, and she talks about how she knows Geralt's. She obviously knows Geralt's quarters quite well.
Right.
And it comes out that she's there to guide Ciri.
Yes.
While the guys are, one set of expertise, being a witcher and stuff like that, Geralt obviously can't tend to other needs, and it might be cool to have like a mage to come along and be like, yo, what's happening? And she's a girl, might respond differently to a girl as opposed to Geralt and whatnot.
Yep. There is also a little, I thought it was kind of throwaway, but then they addressed it later that Ciri asks, oh, no mushrooms today or something like that. And then in a later part, Yen references that.
Yeah.
But basically, Yen's here for your like statehood style education because she's still royalty, right? She still needs to be educated in a bunch of things. And
this is the thing, while the other guys are smart in terms of like bestiaries and stuff like that, and like potions and concoctions and whatnot, Triss is smart in so many other areas,
politics, history, like formal education,
exactly, and that's very useful as well.
And magic, because Geralt specifically said, "I need a mage." He didn't ask Yen because Yen's dead, as far as he knows. Yeah. Also, they have this.
She's magical. So
this trope bugs me that they have one of those discussions where they never mention Yen, but each one doesn't mention it for different reasons, you know. And so he could very easily say, he could have said, "Where's Yen buried?" Oh, she's not dead.
It's like ever since Yen,
Yeah, ever since Yen died at Sodom.
What do you mean? Since she went happily ever after back to Artusa? What?
Right. But instead, they both skirt the obvious. Yeah. Like she goes, "I recite those names every day." Gets 3, and he goes, "Stop!
I can't hear anymore."
Right, because you're gonna get to Yen, and I don't want to hear Yen. So, what do you mean Yen's not on the list? She's alive.
I don't understand. Why do you have such a visceral reaction to this?
Right,
these people you've never met.
If that trope bugs the shit out of me.
Oh god. And then they start they talk about Ciri and how she has powers and how she can see the future, but not like typical chaos.
Yeah.
So she's very interesting. They go downstairs and Geralt shows Triss the head of that disgusting monster that they just chopped up in the last episode, and saying it was attacking Ciri as well as another thing.
Yeah.
They said, so okay, what's this other thing?
Yeah, so he kind of says like, "Is this anyone of your lot?" And she goes, "No, making things like this has been outlawed." He goes, "Oh, well, they definitely can't."
Could a mage have made this? No, creating, using chaos to create beasts like this has been outlawed for centuries. It's like, oh, well, definitely not a mage then.
Right.
We can rule that out. I
love how she's like, she doesn't say it, but she's like, "Yep, so fair enough.
Yeah.
Good point. I'll test it. I'll find out."
And she takes some scraping, puts it in a bottle, and it's like, "We'll spin this for a day, and then if it glows, apparently it means it's a mage
made
did
it. Yeah.
If not, then we'll know and whatnot." So
it's to detect the mutagens or some shit. Yeah.
Mutagenic alchemy or something they say. And I'm like,
magic nonsense words.
Magic words. Anyway, so they go, "All right, we'll see you in the morning." They go back to their quarters to like try and do whatever, and on the way, Triss tries to make a move on Geralt. But Geralt ain't no simp, alright? Let's get that out there first.
I just wish he'd gone, "Do you know what? Your hair's changed. You're lighting your skin. I'm not digging it, Triss.
I'm out. I liked you before, alright? Yeah. I liked you before. Before you traded your womb for whatever you've done here, okay?
Right.
Woman. But yeah, it's like, no, get fucked, Triss. Okay, my penis was for Yen only,
But she's dead now.
but she's dead now. And they're like, wait a minute.
And then she could have been like, no, she's alive, Victory. Fuck.
Or she could have been like, yeah, you're right, but she did tell me with her dying breath that
Yeah.
I should jump on that dick.
Yeah. I need to keep you warm every single night.
She said, take care of Geralt's
With her
needs.
dying breath. She was like, he's a witcher. He has needs. Trish, you're the only one I trust to drain the dragon.
I've seen you down there. It's perfect. He needs that. Train the dragon. Oh, fuck it up. We're degenerates.
I mean, it would have made a lot more sense.
You know?
We cut back to Yen in a sewer.
Yes, with Ballsack dude.
Yeah, and then they bump into an old guy and a deaf elf dude
Yeah.
who knows sign language that isn't sign language.
Yep.
That with a couple of hand signs, he can get incredibly complex sentences out.
Yeah, with one hand as well.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's half a language. What are you talking about?
Isn't it?
And also, is sign language the same in Elven as it is in English?
Oh shit! So we think he's doing Elven sign language, and this guy only knows like Redanian sign language.
Yes. Oh shit! It's a different language. Oh no.
I don't know what you're saying, mate.
I was gonna say, come on now. Because the thing is that humans and elves don't really cross over, so
That's
they'd have
true.
to come up with
It's
their
not
own
like
language.
a universal language. It's not being like taught
Exactly.
in Elvish schools and English, human schools.
They share the books around.
Right.
There we go. Yeah, and they're talking about how they're going to escape. They're going to go to like Sintra or something like that.
So there's one thing. They basically get the guys to agree to take them along.
Yeah.
And Bullsack guy says something, and Yen says, thankfully men remain simple. And a bit of me was like, okay, like I kind of get it. Like Yen's whole shtick is not just that she's powerful. The reason that she looks the way she looks, was made to look that way, is to be commanding of people like socially, and that's why they're trained the way they're trained and stuff. But don't act like you're useful. Because you're not. Your entire use was that you had magic.
Yeah.
Let's say she's a 10.
Yeah.
Tens
That doesn't
exist
make
in
you
the
useful.
tens exist in the world.
Yeah.
So you're just a 10
Yeah.
in a war zone.
Yeah, that's not.
It
Gonna...
was the fact that you were a walking human nuke that made you like really useful.
Yeah.
The fact that you're hot is a minor.
In this war, not going to be consequential.
Right. It might make you more of a target than anything else. Like, oh, there's something pretty. You don't see that in a war every day. Maybe I should investigate the purple silk-covered 10 over there that perfectly matches the description of the most wanted person on this side of the planet.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? It's like, Yen, you can have the confidence when you are a freaking mage.
Yeah.
You should maybe you can't fight. You can't fight.
Try and set your realistic level at somewhere.
Also, 2 feet down the road, she gets murked by an octopus.
Yeah, there's something's in the water, and then later on they go down some other area, and they're going to the sandpiper to find him.
Yeah,
but they get eaten by a octopus monster thing that we don't really get to see. The deaf dude gets eaten straight up.
It takes the deaf dude.
Yeah,
sad because we care about that guy a lot.
Just connected with him
so very much, and his friend is like, oh no, I'm gonna run away.
See ya.
Bye. Because he's like, okay, cool. So we've established this guy's a coward. Fine.
No
cool.
worries. And then it takes Yennefer, but Yennefer gets spat back, and then the Bullsack guy saves her.
Yeah.
And
again, Yen, remember all that big talk? You just got done in by a sea octopus, like a sewer octopus, not even a sea octopus. Downgrade.
And the Bullsack guy's like, use your fucking magic, and it's like, I can't.
Great. So
that's your usefulness.
So
right there.
the one thing potentially keeping this incredibly dangerous fanatical warrior at bay, you've just admitted you don't have.
Yeah, not great.
So okay, whatever. And then they make their way to a pub.
Yeah, pub and inn.
But the cellar under the pub.
Exactly.
And they have to wait for the
sandpiper to finish what he's doing, and then he'll take you to Sintra and whatnot. And she starts to hear the music, the sound, and it's. But this is quite a catchy tune, not as catchy as Toss a Coin.
Nowhere near as catchy.
But burn, butcher, burn. It was quite a good one. I liked it.
I assume that's a dig at Geralt.
Yeah, it's very clearly hits Geralt.
And gasp,
Jesgear! Oh my
Can we just call him Dandelion? Because I've got him as Dandelion in my whole thing. Like Jaskier, I think is Jaskier like the Polish for dandelion?
Not sure. Oh wait,
might
I
be.
think it is because my girl says it as Yeskier. That's apparently how you say it.
Jaskier.
And I was
yeah.
like, oh,
so it is Dandelion. So it's Dandelion. Cool.
we got that out of the way.
Yeah, and he does his bit upstairs,
Yeah.
and it's an okay song, but it's not super great.
Yeah, it's all right. People are happy at least, and they're getting their entertainment.
And then everybody leaves, and then Yen, who don't forget, smells like sewage.
Yes.
Sewage.
Yep.
So was a 10, but I'm telling you, if a 10 turns up looking raggedy, smelling like sewage,
Yeah.
you're not like, oh man, this is a pretty girl with a lot of potential. If she would just like take a shower, you're like,
It's like, Jennifer, God, you smell awful. And it's like, yeah.
it's pretty good. It's kind of fun that they catch up a bit.
Yeah.
She explains that she's in need of the sandpiper.
Mm-hmm. Euphemism.
Yeah. She's really
Wants to
talking
blow on
about...
that sandpaper.
That's right. That's how you do it.
That's how I do it.
God. And I gotta be honest, I didn't love... I wasn't like, if Dandelion hadn't appeared in this season so far, in these 4 episodes, I wouldn't have missed him so far. Not that he's bad, but like, I just don't dig jaded Dandelion.
He is very, very jaded in this point.
And like, him and Yen kind of have the brother-sister, hate each other thing going, but he helps her anyway.
Yeah.
And then it turns out, and this bit bugged me, that his help is just sneaking you onto a boat.
Yeah.
So why did we need him?
It doesn't make no sense because he doesn't like have a boat of his own. He doesn't have papers to a friend's boat.
Right, he doesn't have people on payroll. He doesn't even have papers to be on the boat himself. He's stowing away, apparently.
And even his idea, it seems strange. It was like, he didn't seem like he was going to distract the keeper guy. And then while his back was turned, they were all going to sneak on. He seemed like he was going to jump on the boat. And then they find their way themselves?
Yeah, it's very odd.
I didn't understand.
It's really poorly thought out. And then
he just picks a fucking fight.
knowing that he has Jennifer Wengerberg, for one,
Yeah.
knowing that she's the most wanted person in this part of the world, knowing that he's smuggling refugees, people that are wanted by the government because it's like that one guy in Germany that one time, they're getting the blame. Just decides to beef up this one dockhand guy
For no reason.
About a song or whatever, which in fairness, he's kind of our bridge where he's like, the song's all right, but it took me a few goes around to realize everything was going on at different times. Funny little, like, okay, cool, season 1, we get it. Now get on board, Jaskier / Dandelion, whatever. They don't. Then the guy goes to beef him out. And then coward guy, who we've established is absolutely a coward, is like, you know what? Fuck the North.
This was terrible.
It was awful. It was dog shit.
As well as it being like a bad plan, it's just like, again, you've established he was a coward, so this is out of character
Doesn't
as
fit.
well.
And
then
he's going to redeem himself for letting an octopus murk his friend?
he kills himself. Like, that's not even... The whole idea is just to distract people so they can get on board. This isn't you better stop these people right now or the entire city behind us is burnt to the ground. This isn't that level of stakes. I'll kill myself so you get on this boat.
He goes out and he goes, fuck the North, and doesn't run away to get the deckhands to follow him.
Yeah.
He just stands there so they can beat the shit out of him.
And
By
he
the
just
way,
dies right there.
right at the point where everybody who's hiding is hidden, all they have to do is stand up and turn, and they will see.
Hold on a second.
That's a bunch of elves. I really disliked this bit. I know that they were trying to bring Dandelion back in, and I kind of like their tender little moment under the deck or in the ship.
Yeah.
But like, it's everything getting there that doesn't make any sense. It would have made so much more sense if she'd have met him in the tavern, explained that they needed him, he agrees to help, and then we just cut to at night on a ship. Con quick.
Yeah.
Comes down to the bottom and says, the guy here owes me a favor or something. I got his wife to agree to marry him, so he will transport all of you.
Done.
That actually makes sense, isn't it?
Nice. But
That's not what they did. It's weird. It's just, I really want. I'm enjoying. Let me say this really clearly. I am enjoying watching the show. Half of it doesn't make any sense. a quarter of it is shit casting and bad writing, and a quarter of it is I love The Witcher from the game, so I'm letting a lot of it slide, and I'm a simp for Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
You know, I really want to love the show, but up to now,
there's been some shit.
there's been a lot of stumbles that didn't need to be there. That's the worst bit as well. They're tripping themselves up.
It's in weird places as well, because like the Geralt stuff is all fucking A grade.
Yes, that's exactly
How
my
can you
problem.
get something so great on one side, but then so like bad?
That's
on
the
other?
thing. Is Geralt, everything with Geralt, even like, okay, let's say you don't like some writing decisions and stuff, fine, but like it's all really good.
Yeah.
And everything with Geralt and Ciri is really good.
Yeah.
But not everything with Ciri is good.
Yeah.
And everything with Geralt and the Witches is okay.
Strange.
It's okay. But then everything with Ciri and the Witches is shit.
It's weird. I don't know what to do, man.
Yeah, I
I hope
want
it
to
all
love it.
just ties up in the end, but these things are individual as well, so it does they're going to be crap regardless.
Yes.
Just to wrap that part up, anyway, they get on the boat. Jeskia and Yen have a little conversation. They're talking about how like things have gone bad and whatnot. Jeskia can tell that something's wrong with Yen, that she's like lost it and whatnot.
Oh, he says this one little thing. He's like, she says, "Oh, he can't do the magic or whatever," and he goes, she goes, "I bet you love that." And he goes, "No. Like I fear that one day the muses won't come to me or something like that." The point is, the thing that makes him special, the thing that made Yen special, he's afraid of losing as well. That was tender. That was cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
It's just the whole thing leading up to that didn't make any sense.
strange. Jeskia leaves, and all you hear is like a "oh" from the outside, and his
Oh yeah.
car thing, whatever.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
strings get smashed up, and Yin goes outside to have a look and sees that it's smashed up and sees that he's been taken.
Gasp.
Oh my god, what's happening?
Jennifer Wengerberg can help. Oh wait,
She can't.
she's just a chick.
Anyway, that's the end of that part of that storyline right there. We'll cut back to Kaer Morhen.
Yes.
Where they're
The
about
witches
to,
are making fun of Ciri for no reason.
yeah. So
Ciri
like,
comes out with like a flower in her hair.
she gets dressed up. She does her hair in a different way. She puts like a flower
Yeah.
in it, more ladylike, because I guess now there's a lady here.
Well, yeah,
and
she's
whatnot,
going
and
to,
she's
like-
pretty and she's got a nice dress. So
And she's going to class basically with her.
I don't even know
It's
if it was
girl time.
class time. I thought it was more like she's a girl and she makes herself all pretty. So, and I'm a girl, I'm supposed to be like that as well, right?
I thought I heard a line
she's
where she
supposed
was
to be a
like,
princess.
we're doing today. We started your education. something like
maybe.
that. So I thought it was like
Maybe.
it's like girls' school, and then she goes to Witcher school, and then girls' school and Witcher school. That's how I
Maybe.
viewed- So she's in a dress.
Yeah.
I think she puts a flower in her hair, and then comes out for breakfast. And you know those witches who last episode really respected her and liked her.
yeah.
They beef her out, and not in a sense of like they're trying to bond, but they get the tone on because she's not a boy.
Yeah.
It's just
not that kinda way.
they're just pricks.
Yeah. It's like, oh, is that a flower in your hair? Oh, princess.
Yeah, they're just pricks.
Just a cunt. Anyway, really upsets her. She goes, she just storms off and whatnot, and they don't bother caring. Triss gets up, however, and kind of like
She dresses down the witches.
she got a lot of power over them, like a bit of respect for they've got for her. Like,
Well,
you
don't
guys,
forget, Triss is a mighty,
true.
maybe not in the show, but in canon,
Yeah.
she's a very powerful sorceress and a friend of Geralt of Rivia,
Yeah,
the Butcher of Blaviken,
and she's proper
and a friend of Vesemir.
Yeah. And she lays it out for them. It's like, you guys have got her on mushrooms alone, and I guess they're trying to say that
I think-
does something to a woman's
I think
like
what
biology and
yeah,
whatnot.
I think what she's saying is, she says, you don't know what to do when she gets her blood, so when she has a period.
Period and whatnot.
Fair enough. And then she says about that, but if you keep giving her those mushrooms, you won't have to worry about that very long. Basically, those are toxic. You're gonna make her infertile.
Yeah. And like you don't consider her needs at all,
Right.
like her being different and stuff like that. And just basically put them all, and they were just like, oh shit, yeah, we haven't considered any of this situation.
And I like that she kind of dresses them down a bit.
Yeah.
I would have preferred if they hadn't been just straight cunts, because we very clunkily got to the point where the witches now don't, for some reason, hate Ciri, which I don't know why they hated her before, but they're accepting of her, and now they're not again.
Yeah. It's very strange.
Also, because in the game, Ciri's their little sister.
Yeah.
Like, whenever anyone meets Ciri in The Witcher 3, like when Yen sees her, she runs the whole length of Kaer Morhen, Ciri, and runs for the hug. Same with Triss. Same with Vesemir. Same with Eskel. Same with Lambert. Because she's their little sister.
Yeah.
Where is that? Where's that family? It bugs the shit out of me.
They then all meet downstairs in the beast room where the beast head is,
Yeah.
and Ciri's there along with Triss, and Geralt comes along now, and the thing isn't ready just yet. It's going to take a few more moments to find out whether or not it was made by a mage. They're just talking away, having some fun, and then it's ready. They go and pour it out, and it's just like black ashes that come out of it.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh,
It's a special kind of dust,
yeah,
she says.
They say it's a stellacite, they say. It's like, oh, it's not glowing, so it's not a thing. However, there is something else strange about this, and they're like, stellacite. They go, stellacite, and Geralt goes...
That was on the other things.
It's like, I don't know, it brings over, it's like, this was from Eskel's Leshy, and... brings on
Right.
more stellicites. Like, stellicites, like from a monolith, they say, and that ties into what Thing was saying earlier.
She
about studying monoliths.
flashes back or has a vision or whatever.
Yeah, so she's looking down, and then the Geralt can tell there's something up. So what is it?
Oh, that's right.
And she touches it, and she has like a flash for a moment,
Yeah.
and then wakes up in her bed, and they're like, "What's wrong?" It's like, when I left Sintra and I ran into the ballsack guy, I disturbed the monolith.
She
or something like
says
that.
she broke it.
Broken
And she
monolith.
did, because so like as she's left, she screams, the monolith fell over, and then the earth opened up or something, I want to say. But basically she knocked it over.
Yeah.
And the problem is we haven't been told, but I guess we're supposed to assume that something about those monoliths keeps monsters out,
Yeah,
or they're
like
trapped inside.
a magical barrier of some sort, or
Something like that. The problem is we haven't been told any of this in the show.
and we don't know about it. This is fictional to this world, so we don't know what they
Right.
are.
And Yen's old boyfriend kind of mentions them, but just that they're interesting.
Yeah.
But basically, Ciri's like, it's my fault. Totally not, but it's my fault. And then Geralt goes, don't worry, I will fix it. Good guy, Geralt.
Yeah, good girl.
But what's he gonna do? Is he gonna?
Lift it.
Yeah, is he gonna
Bit
put
of
the
filler.
monolith back? Yeah, just a bit of silicone, that'd be fine. Or is he gonna go and kill everything that came out of it?
Not sure. We're gonna.
And
have
does
to find
stuff come
right?
out? I don't know, man. I just wish they would have told us some rules. I wish he would have gone, oh no, a broken monolith means this.
That's the thing. That's the thing that was missing right at that moment. Like when it was told us, like broken monoliths are bad news.
Yeah.
They're supposed to contain so and so black magic,
Right,
blah
right,
blah
right.
blah, that heals the world. It's like, oh shit! So these things are dark magic gone mad.
Right.
Oh shit! Okay, we'll see
Right.
in the next episode. But we didn't get anything. Like
We didn't get anything. And again, it doesn't have to be super heavy-handed exposition.
Yeah.
You could have had Ciri say, what would happen if someone broke one? And then he could say, oh, well, they're powerful ancient magic that keeps certain kinds of monsters at bay, or keeps them out of our realm, or contains them. And if one were broken, I'd have to assume, and then can defer to Triss. I'd assume they all come out, right? And she go, yeah, probably that's what would happen. And she goes, oh shit, well, I think I broke one. That's why they're after me. End of episode.
Exactly.
That's not too heavy-handed in the exposition, but it lets us know what's going on. Instead, we just know that she broke one and Geralt's going to fix it.
Yeah, that's what we get from that. They're talking about it, and Geralt is obviously getting ready to go and fix whatever issue he has to fix. And Triss comes over and says, like, look, I still got the hots for you, so I'm going to make one more play at you if I can. And
Yeah.
Triss is...
As if this is the last play, come on.
It's like, yeah, she's might say that, but she's going to try again. And Geralt's just like, look, I can't... This isn't going to happen, you know? As I said, I ain't no simp. And
I ain't no simp, and my heart belongs to another, who I won't say any more on, in case you mention that she may still be alive.
Exactly. It's convenient again how the topic of like love comes up and like heart and where it belongs.
My heart belongs to another.
Can't say who. Can't say who.
Fuck.
Done there. Anyway, but she goes, I actually know of a mage who studies monoliths, and
Yeah.
who can help you out. So cool, no problem. I'll go to them. So I can portal you there if you like. And I was like,
Yeah,
and he's like,
I forget, why does Geralt not like portals? I know he doesn't like them, but I forget.
He gets it. It's just like seasick sort of thing.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
it's
that's
too much
it.
work. He's like, that's no fun.
That's no fun.
But then in the next scene,
It's a 7-month journey, Geralt.
I would take a little bit of seasickness just to be
Innit?
like,
just
know
to
what?
save some time.
Motion sickness, just a little bit more. And he just pulls through, and when he comes out, the mage is like, barrier. It's like, who are you?
Yeah, go no further. Who sent you? Sort of thing.
And Geralt's just like,
Yeah, what are you in it? Also,
it's Has anyone got any fucking wet towels I need to put on my
Yeah,
head?
yeah, you got a cold flannel. The funny thing as well is like, this guy doesn't seem to get that whoever just turned up is very, very calm in a, if you make me feel worse while I'm seasick, I'm gonna murder you kind of way.
Yeah.
Like maybe she should be like, hey, what are you doing here? Instead of, I can defend myself. You know,
I've been taught by the Defense Against the Dark Arts mage.
The thing is, he might as well have pulled out a thing of mace and said, I don't know you.
Oh, rape whistle.
Yeah. Like, what are you gonna do?
He's like, so you're the mage. He's like, who are you? He looks at him, and then that's what they say.
Yeah, it's weird. Also, so you're the mage. Like, you should probably know his name.
The mage.
Also,
First name,
he's
the last name mage.
he's a mage,
one of many.
but is he the? Don't know.
Or even could have been like, Triss sent me, just straight away, just to get his guard down. The
Yeah.
guy's
Or
using
like-
up all the magic he's got.
Are you Jonathan? I don't know. What's a Polish name? Pavel. Are you Pavel?
Are you Pavel?
Because of course you're Pavel. Oh yeah, I'm Pavel.
Did the female with the letter A at the end of her name send you?
Right.
She did.
Pavela sent me.
There you go. That's the end of that bit. But then,
Last thing is the Vesemir thing, right?
yes, Vesemir goes out to look at a school.
He's in the woods. He goes to visit the skeleton.
The skeleton that's left. It's
Also,
all been picked clean. And
It's kind of touching. Like I said,
Yeah.
I don't like the casting, but he's good.
yeah, it
Like
is very-
again, Fringilla is really good. I just don't think she fit the bill.
yeah, it's very touching. He goes and sees and is like sort of like just trying to like get it all out of him. The guy has lost a son, like we said. These people are his kids, and
So this is the kind of acting that's really hard to do because he lost a son, functionally a son, but he's like 150 years old. He's lost many before, and his emotions are dampened by all the mutagens and stuff.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to convey that?
yeah,
And I gotta say, he actually does it really well. I
does it
really
well.
felt like this guy who wasn't Vesemir to me really felt a lot of loss.
yeah,
Like it's one of the really sad things is he clearly feels sad and doesn't have the emotional capacity to cry, but wants to, but can't
Yeah.
do it. And I was like, okay, this is really good. I like him a lot more. Again, it doesn't look right to me. And then he walks back.
He's walking down the trail and he spots a flower, a bright purple flower growing out of the
Yeah.
ground. And
Did you notice exactly where this was? Because I clocked it straight away as well.
I was like, oh shit, okay, that's
yeah.
where she fell over.
also, you can
Where
see the
Ciri
blood
fell over.
still there on the ground. Yeah.
Exactly. And he picks it and he goes all the way back to the Kaemora and he goes up to Triss. It's like, you're apparently like a vegetation specialist or whatever it might be. Tell me this isn't what I think it is.
Yeah.
It's like, this is fen flower. I wrote it down.
Okay.
It goes, it's only grown where elder blood is spilt.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit, that's where Ciri felt.
Yeah.
Ciri must have elder blood in her. That's why she's
So,
like so
so that's the
powerful
thing
and
is
whatnot.
he says, well, it can't be because this is fresh,
Yeah.
and I found it.
And elders are like extinct. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
they've been extinct for 100 years or something, or hundreds of years since the conversion of the spears, whatever it is. And he's like, well, this is a brand new flower,
Yeah.
and I found it in the garden. Basically,
I think as well that he knows that Ciri felt this. I think they mentioned that earlier or something like
that she cut her face or something.
that. She cut her face and he knows that it's her
Oh,
blood.
and also
whatnot,
Geralt has told him that she's special.
Yeah.
He knows that there's something. He says, I can't remember exactly what he says, but I think he explains how she came to be his child's surprise.
Yeah.
So he knows that her mother had some magical thing.
Yeah.
And obviously he's not stupid and he can put two and two together. I just love the bit. He's like, yeah, well, it can't be what you said. It's not what I think it is because that would mean Ciri has elder blood.
Exactly.
And that's extinct.
And he also says a couple of other things where it's like, apparently the elder blood carries a mutagen, the mutagen that had before been wiped clean from Kaer Morhen when the last attack happened.
Oh, yes.
And all of it was lost, so there was no way for them to make witches again, except the mutagen exists in her blood.
Right.
So we have the power to make more witches.
Right.
However, I don't know if you noticed this part. It looked like Triss's face was a bit shocked, as if like
Yeah,
the
I did
way
notice
that
it.
we're gonna get these mutagens are not a good way. Like Ellie in The Last of Us crack her head open and get this shit
Right.
out.
So I don't know about how you get the mutagen.
We'll find out.
Right. Which we will find out. I also thought it was really interesting that Vesemir knows exactly what goes into making witches because he's been making them since he graduated
Yeah.
Witcher school like 100 years ago. And he's gone through a lot of them. we presume Vesemir's been a high-ranked Witcher fairly early on.
Yeah.
He's a very capable guy. And what's really interesting is that he is both like a tradesman. His trade is fighting monsters, and he knows how important that is. And he wants to keep his traditions alive. Like, his family is witchers. If he can make more witches, he can have more family. But what he's also talking about is torturing tons of unsuspecting boys into a life of violence that at best they die in violence 50 years down the line after being mutilated and having most of their friends die along the way just to become witches, so then they can have the rest of their friends die along the way and die in violence. It's a really bizarre position for this guy to be in, because I think he means it in a positive light. We can make more witches.
Yeah.
And there are still monsters around, lots of them. But you have to kind of be a monster to make a witcher.
Yeah.
Like, that's not something a good person can do. A moral person can do.
Yeah, it's not like, hey, someone, kids, are you tired of being a kid? Do you not want to grow up and be normal?
Right.
I tell you what, come and live a life of shit, possibly die, most likely die, and become a witcher.
But on the plus side, everyone will hate you.
Exactly.
Everyone you save will fucking hate you.
All right, let's get to work.
Let's do it.
Say no more, fam. You've already struck gold. Why are you trying to do
You had
more?
me at infant torture.
And that is episode 4 right there. Those are the last 2 episodes. I have to say, I enjoyed episode 1 and 2 much more than
Me
this
too.
one. There's some good elements in these ones. I like the monsters. I like the signs they use. I like the implications that they're setting up with, like, the monoliths seem very important.
And
I
with
like...
with Vesemir and Ciri's blood.
Exactly. That's very, very cool. I can't wait to see more
I
of
cannot
that.
stand the witches.
They're very...
And the mages. The witches and the mages, who are the focus of the show, kinda, bug the shit out of me.
I like how evil Stregobor is, though. That guy is
Stregobor's a good villain.
quite evil.
Stregobor is a good villain.
And this other guy is apparently really good. The one that was shirtless drinking in front of an owl.
Oh, yeah, Dijkstra.
Is that his name?
Yeah. Dijkstra's cool.
Strange.
He's like a spy master. I have loved everything with Geralt and Ciri. I loved episode 1. I loved episode 1. Weirdly, as much as I've ragged on this show, I'm really excited to watch episodes 5 and 6. But I don't know if that's because I love Henry. I love the relationship we're seeing on screen between Henry and Geralt and Ciri, and I love the games, or if it's because the show's good. And I think the show isn't good. Do you know what I mean? Like, so we're halfway through.
Yeah.
What would you give it out of 10 so far?
Yeah, not very high.
Maybe
like
a
a 6.
6. Yeah. I'm at 6. Episode 1, I would have been like, this show's a 9.
Yeah, this shit started hard. I was like, yes.
I was like,
is gonna
this
be
show
great.
fucks hard.
That's why when like all the guys were like, oh yeah, it's not that great. I was like, what are you talking about?
I was the same as well.
Chatting about fun.
I was like, I watched 2 episodes. It's banging.
this is the shit right here. And then it's now.
So halfway in, I'm like, the show went from a high peak to a 9, all the way down to a 6. And it bugs me that I'm still excited to watch it.
Yeah.
Let us know
Yes,
what you thought
please.
about these 2 episodes in the comments. And let me know if I'm just being overly harsh to the show. I don't think I am. Have we got any comments to read?
Yes, we do have one. So read that out right here. It's a comment from Mr. 56, which is 56. Oh no, I forgot last time. It definitely wasn't the fact that I didn't have time to watch it. Watch say episodes 1 and 2, but also couldn't be bothered. Anyway, episodes 3 and 4. Gotta say, I love the look of Kaer Morhen. I'm liking Geralt's new style without the armor and the cloak. So far, I'm not enjoying season 2 as much as season 1, though. However, I do quite enjoy the training scenes. It is just grounds the show with a whole lot more of the to be good at something, you have to work at it idea. Never mind, I love Geralt's armor. Looks so much more. Jess Gears back, episode 4, best episode so far. Man. Best episode? That's hard. I can't agree with that.
I strongly disagree.
In fact, I'm going to say you're banned from the community for such a bad take.
The funny thing is, I think the best episode so far of the whole show was episode 1 of season 2.
That was quite good.
I might say that's the best episode we've seen in the show.
It had a hot vampire in it.
She was freaking gorgeous.
episode 1 or 2.
And it had peak Geralt. we got the that like subverting your expectations of the Beauty and the Beast kind of thing. There's the relationship with Siri. They're forming stuff. We're learning things. Like, it was good fights. We saw signs. But so far, season 2 has been a little bit lackluster. I don't know about preferring it to season 1. Season 1 is good, but like the time skips freaking suck.
Yeah.
But then there's no dragon episode.
True.
You know, we've had no dragon episode, but we've also had no Tossa Witcher.
That's it.
So
ups and downs.
Yeah. Next comment here. Go on.
Did you see the while we're talking about episode 1, did you see the behind the scenes VFX breakdown of how they did the beast guy, the boar guy?
Yeah, no, I didn't.
So he's actually in a whole suit of like everything looking as it is in the show. He's even got like a headpiece, and the only bit that's cut out is like his face. And then
so like a motion track there.
And then they got like the dots on him with the camera and whatnot, and then it's just a CG face put on top of his whole body that he's got right there, and it's seamlessly blended in. I was like, this is amazing. You guys did
very
great.
cool. That's very cool. And also, this is the thing I think, we mentioned it before. So like Ben does theatre or acting.
Yeah.
And he agreed, I said about one of the reasons I think Ben Affleck's such a good Batman is because he has an actual Batcave. You're going to feel really Batman in an actual Batcave with an actual Batmobile.
Rather
and
than
that
a platform and a green background.
Right. It's much easier to get into character. But one of the opposites of that is you suddenly realize how good some of these actors are when that must have looked freaking ridiculous. But to act that well with this guy in a beast costume but with his face stuck out, you get a bit more respect for what actors, the craft of acting, especially when
it's hard enough just doing it normal, like for us normal people, do it face to face with somebody, and then add all the extra shit that they have to do.
Go and watch, if you haven't seen it, like the Raising Kratos or anything behind the scenes for God of War, where you see all of their acting that they do and everything is just blue foam. And they're in morph suits, basically. Like, it's really, really impressive. Last comment here on the Discord.
Yes.
Eagly, a.k.a. Alpha says, I didn't watch it. Thanks, Alpha Quillalilla. Are there any more? Oh my God, I forgot you did those pictures.
Yeah, people have started saying happy birthday to me, and it's...
how do they know?
I don't know.
Oh,
how they know.
you tweeted it. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. But they've taken my OnlyFans pictures and...
Yeah, boys, if you missed
conversations
there, you missed Ed's OnlyFans announcement.
Anyway, guys, thank you all for joining us for another episode of Streamcast. We'll be back next week, as long as nothing else tries to destroy us. Catch you all in the next one. We'll be watching episodes 5 and 6 that time.
Yes.
And yeah, we'll be getting close to wrapping this up.
Yeah.
All right, catch you all in the next one, boys.
See you then.
Burn, butcher, burn.
It's not as good.
It's not. We want it to be, but it's not.